Yeah, so guys, it is Wild here, back with another value for money tier list. And of course, as you can tell from the title and thumbnail, today we are going to be looking at the best value for money knife on CS2 in 2025. Now, obviously guys, the market at the moment is kind of crazy. Not only that, but we recently just got the new Fever case, which of course now means that we have the Doppler finishes. For example, this Skeleton Ruby, this Nomad Sapphire, Survival Black Pearl, Phase 2 Dopplers, all the other Dopplers, Tiger Tooths, and yeah, just all of those new finishes on these Shattered Web knives. So yeah, obviously, since my last video like this, prices for knives have changed. Now, obviously, in this tier list, there are a bunch of vanilla knives here, but I'm not basing it off of the price of vanilla knives. I'm ranking things based off just the overall average price of knives. That's including all of the higher finishes and some of the lower ones. And yes, guys, I'm not some NASA supercomputer. I can't work this out perfectly, but I'd say I have a pretty good general idea. And then also, part of it does come down to my personal preferences on what knives I like and don't like. So if compared to your ranking, some of mine are slightly off, then yeah, there's a bit of wiggle room. But yeah, let me know down below what you agree and disagree with on this list. And just before we get into it, if you guys are looking to buy any new skins or a new knife for CS2, that's where today's video sponsor comes into play, which is Skins Monkey, the safe, automated, easy-to-use CS2 trading site that gives you an insane 35% deposit bonus for every cash deposit when using code WILD. Also, by using the code, you can claim up to a $5 free bonus on your first $100 trade. No deposit needed. It's definitely worth trading at least $100 on that first trade, just to make sure you're making the most of it. And don't worry, there are a ton of deposit methods, so it's super easy to load up. All you need to do is click the top link in the description, sign into the site with your Steam, and using the filters, you can find some skins that are just right for you and trade away any of your old skins that you're bored of. And in case you have any issues, they also offer 24/7 live chat support. So what are you waiting for? If you want to grab yourself some fresh new skins for 2025 from their crazy amount of skins up for grabs, make sure to go and check them out. But yeah, let's get back to the video. So yeah, guys, let's get into the first knife on this list. And that, of course, guys, is the Vulture knife, which is super goofy, as you guys can see here. I'm just casually looking down at the floor, balancing it on my palm. Yeah, it kind of doesn't make much sense, but animation-wise, like, we recently did an animation tier list. So if you guys want to go and check that out, you can do. But yeah, just in general, the animations are super nice, and price-wise, it's pretty good value for money. So guys, where am I gonna put it on the tier list? Now, for me, I think this has to go at least A tier, as yeah, you can get pretty cheap gem finishes. You can also get the gamma finishes on these, which is super cool. And yeah, I mean, I could even see some arguments for S tier. Now remember guys, this isn't an overall knife tier list. Value for money wise, I think A tier is definitely fair for the Vulture knife. Next though guys, we have the Bayonet, which, oh my days, like, guys, this pullout is just insane. Now remember, this isn't an animation list, but yeah, just the way that you catch the knife, it's so clean, and the look of it as well, it's just an overall W knife. Now, one of the problems with it though, I would say, is that it is still a bit more on the pricey side. So I think when it comes to rankings, it definitely can't be above B tier. I mean, it could even potentially be C tier because it is pricey, but I'll put it like as a low B at the moment. And then guys, next up we have pretty much everyone's favorite knife, being the butterfly knife. And yeah, value for money wise, this knife isn't great for that. Like, yes, it's got great animations, and like, I could see some people arguing for it to be in C tier, but remember guys, this video is basically putting every knife up against each other and basing off of the average price of any finish on a knife. We're trying to rank them from S to D, and like, at the end of the day guys, the butterfly knife, like, they're pretty much just thousands and thousands of dollars. Like, even if you want to do the good old method of buying like a blue steel to save money on a vanilla, currently the cheapest battle scarred is sitting at $1,250. So I'm sorry guys, but it's gonna go D tier. Like, obviously it's not a D tier knife. Like, in general, I currently have a butterfly. Lots of you guys probably have butterflies. Like, it is the most popular knife in the game. But yeah, if you're on a budget or you're trying to buy a knife based off of value for money, then unless you have the money to buy one, I wouldn't recommend like selling other stuff just so you have a butterfly knife. Like, it's worth having other skins and then maybe getting a bit of a better value for money knife. But yeah, obviously this kind of comes down to if you want to spend the money on it. But yeah, comparison wise, it's got to be the worst knife value for money wise in the game. And I hate to say that, guys. But guys, the next knife is a super clean knife, like when it comes to pullouts. Kind of like the bayonet, but I do think the bayonet is a slight bit better. Now, yes, the flip knife was one of the main choices for AWPers back in the day, but you don't really see it that much anymore. It is still pretty expensive as well because of its rarity and the fact that it's an old knife. For me, this is a bit of a difficult one because part of me wants to put this below the bayonet because of the animation difference. I do think the pullout on the bayonet is nicer, and visually, does the bayonet look better than the flip? It's kind of hard. I honestly think these two could both be like flipped around. I'm not going to put either of them in C tier, but at the end of the day, yeah, value for money wise, this is still around about like 20-25% cheaper than the regular bayonet, so I will put it just above. But honestly, I could flip either of these around. They're both like a low B tier, potentially touching on top C. But guys, all my days, next up we have the gut knife. Now, this is obviously just a regular vanilla gut knife. Now, you can get finishes which have a black handle, which I much prefer. Like, I don't really like the regular handle, but guys, when it comes to value for money, like, just look at this pullout. I think the whole like spin of the gut knife and the next knife that we'll look at, I think, yeah, as a pullout animation, it's really, really good. Looks wise as well, like it's not a terrible knife, but yeah, mainly just based off of the price tag, the gut knife has to be S tier, guys. And then the next knife, guys, as I said, it's very similar. It's the Huntsman knife. It has that same cool spinning pullout animation, and I just think as a knife, it looks way better. Even the vanilla just has a blacked out handle. Like, it's just, guys, this, in my opinion, is the best value for money knife in Counter-Strike. Like, it just looks sick, kind of similar to how people like the M9. I think the same argument could be made for the Hunts. I think it looks super mean. And then, yeah, just the spinning pullout, it just goes really well. And, okay, yeah, price tag-wise, I could definitely see some arguments. People would probably say that the gut is technically better value for money because it is quite a bit cheaper. But, nah, for me, I'm going to put the Huntsman above the gut, almost as like a joint top of S tier. Because, yeah, I just think if you're looking to get a knife and spice it up a bit from just a default knife, then, yeah, for a couple $100, you can grab a blue steel version of a Huntsman, and yeah, it will still look really, really good. So, yeah, for me, Huntsman top of S tier. The gut knife is a close second. If the handle was different, then who knows? But, nah, the Huntsman is sick. But, guys, talking about sick knives, now, guys, as you can see, I have got the Karambit, which, for the longest time, this was my favorite knife. Like, it's just... the pullout is super consistent. It looks like a claw. Like, it's just so sick, man. The animations are nice. Yeah, just overall, a massive, massive W. But, guys, what isn't a massive W is, of course, the price tag. And, yeah, it's kind of just going to sit in the same tier as the butterfly knife, guys. At the end of the day, both of these knives, okay, yeah, the butterfly knife is worse, but both of them are just super expensive in comparison to other knives. And unfortunately, when ranking based off value for money, like, yes, some people will sit there and argue, yeah, but the value you get from like using these knives, from the animations, from the looks, like that makes them like, you know, they deserve high rating. But I don't know, man. As I said, a blue steel Huntsman is like $200. A blue steel Karambit is over 1,000. The butterfly is, what did I say, 1,250. Like, these are just so much more expensive that I just think ranking wise, this is the only way they can really be ranked. And then, yeah, guys, let's just get it out of the way. The M9 bayonet, an absolute juicer knife, one of my favorites, but I'm sorry, when it comes to value for money, this as well has to be D tier. I'll put the Karambit slightly above it because, as I say, I have got a little soft spot for the Karambit, but also, like, so in some of the finishes, the M9s are super expensive, so yeah, they're definitely the second worst, I would say. But then, guys, we move on to the second cheapest knife overall, which is well, actually, it's knives. It's the Shadow Daggers, which, I mean, I do think they're pretty cool, but I don't know, I've never been a massive fan of them. I've never really wanted to use them, but you can get, obviously, the Dopplers on them, the Gamma finishes as well. And yeah, they are the second cheapest knife on average, so I think they deserve at least like A tier. I think A tier is fair. I know, like, as I say, I would much rather use all of these knives. I would personally much rather spend the money and get like a flip or a bayonet over just, you know, saving money and getting some Shadow Daggers. And I'm sure there are other people who maybe when watching like this type of video get a bit confused because they're like, bruh, why would you not just rate these lower? But in comparison, value for money wise, like you can't argue, they are a very good value for money. It's just, yeah, for me, I think there are knives which are a bit closer in price, you know, maybe a slight bit more expensive, but just, you know, actually what you actually get for your money is way better. So yeah, I still think A tier though. You can't put them lower than A tier. They're still really, really good. But yeah, that's as high as I'd give them. But yeah, next, guys, we have the Bowie knife, which I actually think is pretty cool if we do this right-click inspect. I've mentioned this multiple times, but yeah, like overall, it's not bad. And on CS2, you can now see both your gloves. So yeah, that kind of downside to them before has definitely gone away. I can't remember where I put it last time, but I would probably say if we look at these knives, Yeah, I think A tier, top of A tier, I think that's pretty fair. Potentially low S, but yeah, I just feel like with the Fortune and its animations, I feel like it's a bit harsh putting this in S tier, but then putting this. I mean, you could argue, you know, the Gut and the Huntsman, they only have to pull out, but I just think price-wise, and especially looks-wise when it comes to the Huntsman, yeah, they're S tier. So yeah, top A for the Bowie, at least for now. I think that's fair. And then, guys, next up we have the Survival Knife, which is actually the 4th most cheapest knife. And look, there's the rare pullout. There's another one of the Inspecs. I actually think this knife is massively slept on. Like, it's actually really nice, and now we have the new finishes for it. I think definitely, you know, okay, I'm not including those new prices, which are massively inflated in this video. Obviously, they will come down and, you know, average out, but yeah, just as a knife, value for money-wise, I think it's pretty good. Like, I'm not even kidding, guys. I'd put this in S tier. Like, it's... I know, like, you know, old me would have probably disagreed with this take, but when you think about it, the animations, the price, and, like, looks-wise, okay, that's the one thing I would say about this knife is, like, I kind of feel like the blade is doing too much. Like, there's just too much stuff going on, but when it comes down to it, it's the 4th cheapest knife. You got a ton of animations. It doesn't look horrendous, and, yeah, honestly, I think it deserves S tier. I really do. And actually, guys, that moves us on to this next knife, which is the paracord knife. There's the rare pullout. And, yeah, like, this is another knife that I have massively hated on, because to be honest, I'm not a huge fan. Like, the main problem I have is just the cord handle. I don't know, I don't really like it. But yeah, animations wise and the actual look of the blade, how it almost looks a bit like an Ursus knife, just, you know, with the extra little details. Yeah, just overall, I think it looks pretty good. And yeah, this is the 5th cheapest knife after the survival knife, so technically, like, I could definitely see people's argument for putting these like next to each other, maybe this one just behind. But when it comes down to it, personal preference wise, as I said, I don't really like the handle. So for me, that definitely brings it down. How far down? I don't know. Like, I would still say A tier though. Like, to be fair, it's very, very affordable for a lot of people. And especially with these new finishes, when those prices come down, like, yeah, this is going to be a pretty good option for a lot of people. Then, guys, next up we have the classic knife, which I went through a phase of really liking the classic knife, and I think I kind of just got bored of the knife. I don't know, like, now when I see one, I'm just, I don't know, it's cool. It's got this little idle animation. You know, it's not a crazy idle animation. The pullout, yeah, it's all right. The Inspect, I mean, this is the rare Inspect where it's like chucking it around, which I do really, really like. Price-wise, though, like, they're not like super, super cheap, but they're definitely not as expensive as some of the other knives available. I think for me, this is like probably solid, like top of B tier. Yeah, I think that's fair. I wouldn't put it near any of these other ones just because, as I say, it is that slight bit more pricey. But yeah, it's still solid. You know, I could definitely see some people putting it maybe in A tier, but top of B, like the very, very top of B, I think that's a fair place to put it. And then, oh god, guys, it is time. The Navaja knife, or as I like to call it, the Navaja spoon, because, like, it's just, like, what is this, man? This is like a little ice cream scoop type spoon thing. Like, yeah, it just looks trash, man. I don't know. I don't like it. The handle is literally bigger than the blade. Like, what are you doing with this, man? This is not a weapon. This is more like a tool that you'd use for something. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Honestly, like, in a knife battle, you should get less damage with the Navaja. Like, what is this? The one thing is, like, kind of cool is that pullout. I don't know. The sound is kind of nice. I don't know if I like the two-handed pullout. Like, I kind of prefer on, let's say, the flip or the stiletto, how you just kind of just flip it out with one hand. The two, just like, what, like, bro, you don't need two hands, man. I don't know. Like, there's hardly a blade here. Like, it's just crazy. The little design on the blade as well is kind of nice. And it's kind of difficult, guys, because when it comes to value for money, the Navaja knife is by far the cheapest knife. So in some people's logic, they would say, like, boom, top of S tier, best knife because it's just cheap. But remember, guys, I'm still kind of basing this off of my personal preference. And like I said before, for some of these other knives, I think it's worth, like, you know, technically some people say the Gut is better than the Huntsman because it is quite a bit cheaper. But nah, I think that extra bit that you pay for the Huntsman is worth it. And yeah, the money that you save on the Navaja, I don't think it's worth saving the money. I think it's worth, you know, waiting a bit longer, maybe saving up some more money, and then buying one of honestly, any of these knives here, I'd say a better value for money. Even though this is, like, on average cheaper, I would just go with one of these. This is where it's difficult, because, like, B tier, technically, I could see the argument for this being, like, here in B tier, just because of its price compared to these knives. But this really does pain me, like, to do this. Yeah, like maybe I'm crazy, guys, but I would actually put it below these as well. I would argue don't bother getting a Navaja knife. Just use the default knives and then just save up for maybe like a flip. Or any of these other, like, it's honestly, guys, we haven't got a knife in C tier. I'm just gonna put it in C tier for now. I am a Navaja knife hater, so yeah, I don't know, man. It's just not great. C tier, yeah, I'll leave it there for now. Then, guys, next up we have the Nomad knife, which is a super clean looking knife. Let's see if I can get the rare pull-out animation, or it's gonna take 10 years to do it. Okay, yep, oh, there you go. There's the rare one. It's kind of cool. I like it. Some people say it's a bit goofy, but nah, I don't know. I do really like the Nomad knife, and yeah, it's just especially cool. We now have all the new finishes. For me, this is defo like near the top of B. I mean, I did say I could put this here, but then I did say that the classic deserves top of B. So yeah, I'll put it second in B. It is that slight bit more expensive than some of these other cheaper knives. But yeah, still, like, I think B, yeah, near top of B. Like, that's just a solid pick for a knife. And I would say, yeah, if you're looking at a Nomad and you're wondering if it's, you know, worth it, then yeah, I'd say it's a solid knife. Then yeah, guys, moving on to the skeleton knife, one of my favorite knives. Now, the one thing I don't like is this regular, like, slow pull out. Like, it just, oh, it's so slow. Like, if we can get the rare one, come on. Give me the rare one. It looks so much nicer, guys. Am I getting trolled here? Like, what is going on? There you go. We just got it. That looks super clean. And yeah, just the normal inspect. I still think this looks really, really good just as a regular inspect. But of course, guys, we have this rare inspect animation, which is just insane. I absolutely love it. One of the big problems, though, is that, like, okay, it's not on this level of expensive, but it is still a super expensive knife. So I'm not, as much as I hate the Navaja, I'm not going to put it above it because it's just too expensive, guys. Like, it really is. Like, yes, it's cool. Yes, it is a lot cheaper than some of these, but especially as we now have the new finishes, I do think in general the skeleton is just going to become more and more popular, which has in fact already happened to this knife on the list, which is of course the Stiletto knife, one of my favorite knives in the game. And every day, guys, I see people converting. Like, there's a lot of people who've hated on the Stiletto knife. I mean, to be honest, when it first came out, I was one of those people. But trust me, guys, if you ever end up using one or just trying one out, I'm pretty sure you'll be converted pretty quickly. Like, it is a banger knife. And yeah, the increase in price definitely shows that that is true. So, like, I'm not sure where I put it in the last list. I think I might have even put it in S tier because for me, guys, the Stiletto is just chef's kiss. Like, it's so good. And yeah, in comparison to, you know, some of these knives down here, it is really good value for money. However, guys, because of those price increases that I was explaining, like, I don't know if it's fair. I really don't know if it's fair putting it in S tier anymore. I think it needs to be knocked down. It's just getting to that point where it's arguably it's even in B tier. Like, it's better than the Nomad for sure. I would also say it's better than the Classic, which if we are then putting the Classic as top B, that puts this up to A tier. This is where it gets difficult and personal preference really does come in. But like for me, any day of the week, I'm getting one over the Shadow Daggers. Like, it's just way more worth it. Like, what you get for the knife for what you pay. I'd also probably put it above the Fortune knife. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I could even put it above these two. But no, I'll leave it in like mid A as just a solid pick if you can spend that little bit more money. But yeah, mid A... this pains me, man. It really does. I want to put this in S tier, but it's just, yeah, the price is just going up too much, guys. It's a popular knife. People are finally seeing that. But yeah, then, guys, we have another knife, which I remember when it first came out, people kind of clowned on it. But yeah, look at this rare animation, guys. It looks sick. Also, if we can get the rare pull-out, where it just chucks up in the air, that is super cool. There you go, guys. That is the rare. Oh, the rare pull out into the rare inspect. I absolutely love it. It's also, guys, a really good value knife. So for me, I would put this in S tier. I'm not even trolling, guys. Like, bottom of S tier. I think that is fair for the Ursus knife. Then, guys, we move on to the Talon knife, the second last knife on this list. Now, this is the rare inspect, which people absolutely love. And yeah, it is sick. I wish we had this on the karambit. The pullout, though, I have just never been a huge fan of it. I just think it looks a bit weird. The inspect is nice, so I like doing the pullout into an inspect. I think that looks super clean. But yeah, price-wise, again, I know it's a cheaper karambit, but it really does just... It's kind of similar to the skeleton. Like, it is cheaper than the skeleton, so technically some people would probably put it above, but I don't know. For me, I prefer the skeleton, so yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. And then, yeah, finally, guys, we end on the cookery knife, which the animations for this knife are... Yo, wait, bro, is my FOV... Like, why is part of my sleeve missing? What the hell? But yeah, the animations on this knife are crazy. price-wise, it's not that bad either. Like, this is kind of similar to the animation tier list in the fact that I just think, like, for what you get, it's an S tier knife, guys. It's good value for money. The only thing is we obviously don't have a bunch of finishes on it, which would bring the average price up and probably bring this down to more like an A-ish. But for now, I think if you want like a vanilla or a fade or something like that, yeah, the cookery knife isn't a bad option. I could even see some people putting it above just because of the animations, but yeah, I would put this in S tier pretty happily. Maybe some people would want to put it at bottom just because of the price, so maybe I'll do that. But yeah, pretty much, guys, that is my overall value for money CS2 knife tier list. As I said at the start of the video, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and please, guys, give me reasons why. Because, yeah, just saying the list is cooked or a specific ranking is stupid doesn't really help anyone. Like, give some reasoning behind your opinion, because you never know. I'm pretty open-minded. But, yeah, you need to actually explain why I should change my mind. If you did enjoy the video, remember to leave a like on it. Subscribe with noties on, as we are closing in on 20,000 subscribers. Join the new Wild Discord. It's also linked in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video. But, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it.